Hello and welcome to episode 145 of the MisanthroPod. I am Snipe, and as always, I am joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
I am also joined by the bodacious, drumbly bumbly DrummerMatt. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you, lovely gentlemen, this fine goddamn evening?
Doing well. Technical hurdles aside, all good. Are you doing good, Matt?
Yeah, I am in equal parts nervous and excited, but I think that's a good energy level to be at, I think.
There always needs to be a certain level of terror in any podcast recording.
And horniness, I feel, is also.
I mean, that just goes without saying.
Yeah, that's what I bring to this experience.
Speaking of horny, how are you, Snipe?
Oh, I am vibrating in my chair, honey. I am weirdly a little nervous to be back at it. At vibrating,
I suppose we should probably acknowledge the somewhat large elephant in the room.
I mean, it's not very on brand, but we can if you want.
Yeah. So, I don't know if people had noticed this, but we have not, in fact, recorded an episode of the MisanthroPod in some time. Would you like to know the specific period?
I'm not even sure I do.
A year.
Do I?
Okay, so, as we record this, it is the 3rd of June, 2025.
Ugh.
Can confirm.
The last episode of the movie club that we recorded was on the 25th of May, 2024.
Well.
Okay.
And the last episode of the MisanthroPod proper, episode 144, was on the 16th of October, 2023.
Hateful.
So it's been a while.
Hateful.
A while.
Yeah, so just to get people caught up, we tried to mix things up, did the movie club for a bit, and I think we all kind of got a bit burnt out on various bits of things, and so we just kind of stopped.
It's been a hard few years.
Yeah. But we decided we wanted to do it again. So we're going back to do the MisanthroPod classic, as it were. We're going back to the old format for the most part. Our current plan is to every now and again do another movie club episode as sort of just periodic one-offs. If nothing else, because we do technically still have to watch it's Willy's Wonderland, I think.
Yeah, that's why it fell apart, because everyone was fucking cowards and they didn't want to watch an incredible Nicolas Cage movie, and honestly, hateful behaviour. Despicable.
But yeah, so yeah, we're going to be every 2 weeks now. For people that are watching on YouTube, of course, this is now on its own channel, which we started with the movie club because we wanted to move it off the main Snipe and Wib channel because
some people get annoying about it, whatever.
Sometimes it is better to have your different creative works separated on YouTube.
No. I think it's good if I just put my garbage in a pile and then make people who want to consume certain parts of it root around in arm-length gloves. I think that's fair. I don't have to do anything, and I get to...
Is that the perfect analogy?
Okay,
that
wow.
That is a good analogy for just YouTube in general, to be fair.
Yeah.
And are you really a YouTuber if you don't have at least 3 different accounts? Like, that's just how you do YouTubering.
I mean, you guys collectively have 4, right?
I don't even want to think about it.
One.
There are 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5, I think. But
Okay.
5 butts.
So yeah, from now on, we're back on every 2 weeks. It'll be more or less the same format
until we inevitably cock up our scheduling and there's like the one in 2 weeks doesn't happen or something, which would kind of be fine. But
also we may mess around with the format a little bit. See how we feel. Because obviously it's been a while since we've done one, and we're a little out of our old habits, which does mean that some of those old habits that may have not been super useful, we have an opportunity to break them, if that makes sense.
I mean,
that is a good way of looking at it.
Also, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and everyone listening to this podcast is shocked. I can fucking tell.
This podcast was a big bucket of the evidence. I'm
pretty sure, like, they listened to the first 3 seconds of it, which just sounded like a group of 18 different species of monkey fighting, and went, okay, yep. So I'm going to start you off on 70 mil. Is that okay? So yeah, this is the first medicated MisanthroPod for me. So it's probably just, I don't even know how different it will be. Maybe everyone will be like, boo, Snipe, get off your meds. I miss the old MisanthroPod that sounded like monkeys killing each other.
I mean, to be fair, it is in the evening when we record these.
So they're starting to wear off.
So your meds we are recording these at the time that your meds are starting to wear off. So I think we might have just like dialed it in perfect.
But I have had a lot of protein today, and that does help them and their efficacy. So, you know.
Okay.
We'll see. I did just have an UFIT white choc with 25 grams of protein. It's a high protein milkshake with no added sugar. Not sponsored. Sponsor me because it's fucking expensive shit. My protein goal is insane.
Oh, these are the ones where it's UFIT, but the U's got an umlaut on it.
Yeah, UFIT.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pronouncing it correctly. So everyone in the fitness community who is obviously listening will understand what I'm talking about.
Is that the new demographic we're aiming for with this revitalized MisanthroPod? We're going for the gym bros?
Yeah, honestly, the gym bros need something, because I am one. Oh, we've got so much to talk about.
Yes, and one thing I did want to mention up front, because it involves all of us.
That orgy we had?
Yes.
Well, yes, there is that. There is that, but we'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
But it is that our band has actually just started playing again, as well as starting this. This
sorry about that, humanity.
Yeah, we've actually played a few gigs in the last month or so, so that's cool.
Watch this.
We played with both in Nottingham. We played with Sonic Boom 6, and then we played at Dot to Dot Festival. We will be playing more gigs.
Yes.
The next one is currently in November, so we're not going to tell you any details about it because
we don't even fucking know.
We will forget every one of them.
Mm-hmm. But also, Parma Violets guy. If you're fucking listening to this, Parma Violets guy, fuck you.
What?
I'm so mad.
When
we were... Okay, so the Sonic Boom 6 gig, Wib and I were sitting outside just having a relax, and this guy comes out and he's like, hey, you played well. And we were like, hey, man, thanks. And I'm like, that guy looks familiar. But, my memory is like that of a goldfish. It sucks. So I was like, okay, And he goes, oh, by the way, I was the one who gave you a bunch of Parma Violets at the last gig. And I was like, and I threatened to fight him at the car park. And I think he thought I was joking. Mainly because I was, but...
You weren't joking as much as we all hoped.
I wish I was joking more than I actually was.
He did seem to be quite amused when I told him that we were finding Parma Violets for quite some time.
Yeah, you'd be amused too if you're at a fucking melee range. God damn it, Parma Violets guy. I'm gonna get you. So shout out to Parma Violets guy.
I'm assuming you didn't catch their name, seeing as you're just referring to
that's
Parma
his name.
Violets
That's his
guy.
name. It's Parma Violets.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
It's French, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Snipe.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to in, I guess, the, year and a half since we last recorded?
Bro, I ain't done shit!
That is not true, you know.
Okay, I've done a lot of stuff, but probably stuff that is legal in which the countries it's filmed, but not available for export, before anyone asks.
It's tariffs, terrible.
Yeah, the world sucks. Fuck everyone.
Yeah, I was wondering if we should bring up the state of the world, just to remind everyone that...
Okay.
We want to be a nice, safe space here where we can all just, shout collectively, fuck TERFs, fuck the government, etc.
But also, if you're new here and you want to know where politically we lean, free Palestine, Slavia Ukraini, trans rights are human rights, fucking kill and eat billionaires in Minecraft, as a joke, as a prank, not clickbait, not actionable.
Fascism is a loser ideology.
Fascism as a death cult, and happy Pride, everyone. Happy Pride. So, okay, now if you... All the people who are just kind of like really offensive and weird... all Black Lives Matter as well. So anyone who's being a dickhead has gone now, so it's just us cool queers and the gang.
We can just talk about shit now.
Yeah, we can just talk about like weed and touching balls.
Literally nothing we're going to talk about is probably going to have any particular like hard edge to it. So we've just chased away people, and then are just like, okay, now we're just going to talk about our nerd shit for a while.
Yeah, okay. You say that as I'm about to talk about nerd shit. So I have like a couple of big kind of things I've been really getting into that I'd like to talk about, because I'm not going to mention everything. I just want to kind of get into some things that I've been quite passionate about. So we moved house.
Nice.
Which obviously was very cool. And Drummer Matt, thank you for the noise, even though you rented the van to move us with, which was super cool of you.
I'm playing along to help the narrative.
I think some of these things we did talk about in...
I'm bullet pointing.
In like midway through the movie club episodes, but
pointing.
also no fucker listen to them, so it's
it was
fine.
sad because I like to nerd out about cinematography, and no one gave a fuck, but that's okay. But yeah, so moved, and I was finally well enough again to start up a gym membership, and I've been going pretty much every other day for the past over a year now.
That sounded really patronising. I didn't mean it patronisingly at all.
What, did you ooh at me?
No, I said well done, but I said it apparently in a really patronising way.
Oh, you're like, well done.
Ooh, well done.
To be fair, I told our saxophone player when we first moved, like, cities, I was like, I go to the gym now. She went, you go to the gym now? And I was like, Zoe, what the fuck is wrong with you? I know she didn't mean it in a mean way, but it was just like
not at all.
Okay. But yeah, so I've been really passionate about the gym. And I've been really passionate about another game called... Gym is my favourite game right now.
That's your game. You're levelling up.
That's my game. It's a monthly subscription service. And it's kind of like an MMO.
What do? You pick things up and put them down again?
Okay, listen. It's actually... Fuck you, for one.
No, I don't know anything. I haven't...
Sometimes,
I don't understand
sometimes, Drummer Matt, sometimes I pull heavy weights down.
Huh.
Okay, I don't have to pick them up.
Do you push them? I feel like you have to balance that out.
Do I push? Oh, I don't think I do. No,
you push things down sometimes.
I push things down sometimes.
Okay.
That's pretty, but they're really heavy.
Also, Matt, you don't get to do the whole, like, ooh, what is a sports ball?
No, I can do I get sports ball. I just don't understand gym.
You run fucking marathons.
Yeah, I've signed up for a triathlon, actually. That's what I'm doing at the moment.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Ridiculous idea. It's not a good idea. I've never swam a length of a pool in my life. Like, I can do the running bit.
Dude,
and I can do the cycling bit, probably.
Just do one thing and tape up your nipples with, like, pasties.
Okay.
Because otherwise your nipples
in general or during the event?
In general, just get into it.
I just think you should cover up those little bee stings. They're distracting. I'm not nipple shaming. That is not what I came here to do. But I've been going to the gym quite a lot, and I've been getting really, really into it. I've always loved weightlifting and always wanted to be a muscular individual. I am going for more of a kind of... I'm not going for tone, but I'm also not going for sheer strength build either. I'm going for a nice mix of the two, which means I don't have that much definition, but I could punch a hole in your car.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Drummer Matt, like, just me shifting gear at the... not like cocaine, like amps and stuff.
Yeah.
Nearly let people in on a bit too much of our lives there. But just at the gigs we've been doing is like there is a noticeable increase in strength, which is a really good feeling, especially after
especially for me, because that means I don't have to use my fucking amp.
Oh, my lady, don't worry, I'll carry that for you, my darling. It makes me feel big and tough, and I like it. And I occasionally will pick Wib up and do a squat with him in the kitchen, so that's fun, a bit of fun. I've been doing a lot of like I say, just kind of like strength training. I've been doing a lot of my own kind of bespoke exercises, which means to say I'm probably doing everything wrong. But I am very amateurly very interested in all that kind of stuff, and I've been doing a lot of upper body work. I do my legs. I do cardio before anyone fucking starts with my weightlifting. I do that because 20 to like... It's 20 plus minutes of cardio pre or post weightlifting session is supposed to make it become a more effective. So that's why I do it. And also because my hero at the gym does that. So I was like, shit, if he does it, I got to do it too. And I made a friend today, and I'm very proud of myself as a socially anxious individual. Speaking of the gym, is the cool guy at the gym. I finally said hi, and I felt very powerful. And he was really, really nice, and offered to help me with any kind of thing I need, which was cool. And it's just been a super, super fun thing. I've been dragging Wib there. Not very successful for the past month. He is definitely a cardio bunny. No one knows what that fucking means who's listening to this goddamn podcast.
What does the term cardio bunny mean? Is that a real term? Because that just sounds like something you made up on the spot.
No, it's a real term. It's a term for women who just come in and do cardio. It's like hot women who just do cardio and then leave.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to take that one.
Yes, and I think you're hot and you go in and I try and force you to do at least some basic lifting. Not like strength training, but just lifting. And you're like, no, my hands are like gelatin desserts. That's direct quote.
Precious guitarist fingers. We need to protect them at all costs.
You don't lift with your fingers, drummer. What the fuck kind of weights are you lifting? You're picking them up with your finger weights. Finger weight. Oh my god. No, we're not doing that. I don't think. But no. Okay, both of you can shut the fuck up. I hear that shared little giggle of we've wound up the weirdo. Good on you. Fucking great. I'll send a bouquet of fucking flowers to you. You're doing amazing. But yeah, I've been really enjoying that, getting my teeth into that. I just enjoy making very insecure and annoying men feel angry. By lifting more than them in with better form and function, because form is everything. And very annoying men, oh god, and the short men, for those of you who don't know, very much enjoy me. And there was a funny exchange I would like to share with you now, a little anecdote for everyone here. I was sat in the free weights area on a bench in between my incline curls, and a very short angry man was hovering, not like physically, just kind of like, he was just kind of like around, and I'm like...
He had devised levitation. Yeah, this was incidental.
Yeah,
but I felt
we call him Hummingbird. It's not a clever name. He thought my hair was a flower, so he wanted to suck the nectar out. It happens a lot more than you think in public gyms, actually. And I text Webb and I was like, dude, there's a short guy here who's like, he's doing the girls are watching thing where they lift improperly and way more than they can safely lift to show off. They ego lift. And he was like, I was saying, I'm sat here and then like in the area, like your freeway area, and this guy's hovering around, and he goes, whatever you do, don't stand up. He can sense your tallness. And I nearly laughed at that man's ass. I nearly barked a laugh up that man's butthole. It was very funny. But yes, so I've really been enjoying that, and now I'm kind of doing the thing that is going to be a lot more healthy for me socially and mentally, where I'm trying to make friends in my 30s, and it's scary. But everyone's really nice, and I'm because there's like a just group, because I don't want to get in with the CrossFitters. I just don't. I don't want that. No offense if you're a CrossFitter listening.
Group of people.
Every Sunday they come in and they just fucking they do the worm around the gym at 40 miles an hour for like 2 hours, and I'm like, Jesus fuck! I am literally just trying to lift weights, Susan. I just don't need this. But yeah, I've been feeling really, really positive about that, and I'm kind of starting to try and make friends with similar interests, so I can have that kind of so I can make the gym more of a third place. If anyone's heard about that in psychology, everybody psychologically needs a third place that isn't home or work to kind of flourish.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that, and I think it's been going really well. I will keep you all updated. If I get ostracized, then well, tickle my balls, whoopsie. But I'm sure it's going to be fine. Another thing I've been really passionate about and would like to talk about is BPM, bullets per minute, which is a video game.
Yeah, okay.
It is a rhythm first-person shooter that's based on, like, Valkyries. it's like a, is it, how would you describe it? It's not like a roguelike, but you do, there are certain elements where...
Oh, it is a roguelike.
Say
it is
loosely...
Or it's more of a roguelite.
Yeah.
I always die and carry on a bit stronger. Is that the
well, no,
gist of it?
if you have runs, I guess it's like a bit like the Binding of Isaac, where you have one run, and if you die, you have to start again. But you can kind of like progress things. So there's like a bunch of different characters that it does remind me a lot of the Binding of Isaac in a positive way. I can't play the Binding of Isaac because it's too squelchy and gross for me, but I do really respect that game.
Yeah,
it's like someone bled and shat all over a Choking Victim album cover. That's the problem.
And it sounds like that too, but like complimentary because of all the squidgy. But yeah, and it's got things like that. Like you've got a character whose health is money. You've got a character whose health is constantly draining, but every time she does damage, it replenishes a little bit of health. And there's like a lot of interesting things with the item synergy that I really like. There's like randomizers on the certain levels, because there's always a set of like, I think it's 6 levels, and the 6th is like the final boss. It is so hard. It took me so long to get past the first level, because what it is there's like a like kind of like beat, kind of like and there's like the music is incredible as well. The music is fucking fantastic. Unfortunately, it is the same track for every level, so it can kind of get a bit samey, but
it's not the same track for every level.
No, it's just it's different. Every level has its own same track. So level 1 has level 1 track.
Yeah, that is true.
The Crypts have the Crypts track. The level 3, etc., etc. But the music is so good. And it's not as quick as you'd think. Again, it's quite slow, like maybe around like 88, like 85, 90 beats per minute is about the kind of speed, which isn't very quick, but it's quick enough, and you can only fire on the beat, or on the half beat is like reloading and things like that. Like there are some there's like an indicator showing you the full beats and the half beats, and you can only fire and dodge and use items on the beat or half beat. If you do it out of time, you lose your multiplier, and you are unable to perform that action, which doesn't sound that hard, but fuck me, as a bassist, that shit is hard. Especially because as a bassist who's a veteran of like boomer shooters, it's hard. And I could not get past the first level.
Yeah, as a bassist who's been in a ska punk band however long.
Yeah, I find it hard.
We start the songs usually too fast, and then we just get faster.
Yeah. If you see us live, we start at like double time.
Who starts the song too fast?
Dicko.
I quite often start the song too fast.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then get faster.
Yeah.
Yes.
My new band tell me off for this. Turns out being a ska punk drummer is not a good recipe for being a drummer.
Also, being a ska punk bassist is a great way to every other ska punk bassist doesn't care how good you are, and every metal bassist thinks that you're a fucking magician, and people in the audience go, "Ooh, girl bassist." That's it. It's a very interesting thing, but yeah, no, because like they have
before any metal bassists say anything, there are different tiers of metal bassists.
Yeah, and some of them have 5 strings, so they can play the top string instead. That's mean. I am just trying to be silly and mean. I don't mean it. Not really. I kind of mean it, but like I don't want you to get mad at me. You know what I mean? So don't get mad at me because I'll feel bad. It's only okay when I'm mean to you guys. No, I feel horrible. But no, and I've been really enjoying that, and I've been getting kind of like really into the synergies and stuff like that. Because again, like I am not blowing up my own dick about this. It is something that I became autistically obsessed, like violently. I was autistically incensed by BPM because I was like, I really like this game and I want to be good at it, and it fucking hates me and doesn't want me to play it. It's fucking on. So, yeah.
Sorry, was that another diagnosis you got since we last
Oh, yeah, I'm autistic, by the way. Shocking fucking literally no one. But yeah, I
can't remember if you got that. It was
November 7th, 2023 is when I was officially diagnosed with autism.
Okay, so yeah, just after the last.
So if I ever need another like neuropathy diagnosis, we're just gonna stop doing the MisanthroPod for a while so I can get diagnosed in between.
Yeah, that's how it works apparently.
Yeah, but yeah, so I've just been kind of like I took it very personally, so I was like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna be good at this game, and I have fought tooth and nail to be good at it. And I have there's like 4 difficulty settings, which is practice, which you don't unlock anything if you complete the game on practice, which is a bit mean, but it's a bit old school kind of mean, so I don't take it that personally. Then there's easy, hard, and hellish. Hellish is exactly as it fucking sounds, let me tell you. And every character, apart from one of them, 2, sorry, have... Basically, there's like 3 kind of diamonds on your heads-up display in the center. The first one is your dash or your fly, if you can fly with that character. So that's always there. If you beat the game on easy, you unlock the alternate ability for that character. So some of them, there's one of them that has like a shield that blocks for a beat or 2. Another one has it's like a big powerful beam that shoots. And then when you beat the game on hard, you get their ultimate ability. So yeah, with the starter character of Goal, she has just a little fireball as her alternate ability, and then has her ultimate ability. It is like a really big powerful shot that takes like a couple of rooms to recharge or whatever. And you can also pick up new spells, so you can pick up new ultimates or secondary abilities through there's libraries where if you need a key to unlock it, you can go in and get a different spell, which is cool. You get a bunch of items there's a bunch of synergy items, which is really cool. There's a bunch of weird rooms. There's a bunch of weird things you can do. I found a portal room, and it's literally just a room with a bunch of level portals. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And I didn't want to look it up because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So I just went, I'll go in the black and red one, which was a fucking fatal mistake because that's the last level before the boss. And I'd never gotten past the second level before. So it absolutely kicked my fucking ass. But the music was awesome, so I was like, okay, that's fine. But I figured out, if you find a portal room and you're 4 levels in, you can go back to level 1 as an overpowered psychopath and just farm resources, clear everything, unlock doors you couldn't unlock in the first place. But the thing is, those are so rare, but it's so exciting when it happens. And there's loads of level modifiers, there's space, Midas. Space is just when just anti-gravity. Midas is when everything drops coins. A lot of coins, so you get a lot of money, which is a problem because that means that they don't drop keys. But it's like a bit of a double-edged sword. Once you've unlocked it on easy or hard, it unlocks the trials, which is you have the trial of poverty, where it's after the first level, there's no shops that spawn, and you live and die on your items and stats. So that's quite a difficult thing to do. And there's half ammo, which is instantly negated because you can buy clip-ups, which gives you an extra bullet in the clip, basically. So it's kind of okay, it's inconvenient for the first few levels, but you can get around it. And other things like that, like bosses are twice as hard, or things like that. So that kind of adds a bit more depth to it. My only complaint is that I want more of it, and I don't think they'll make another one. Which is kind of... I
mean, that's kind of the best complaint to have.
It really is. And I love this guy. I can't remember. I think it was Early Bird, a YouTuber. She does a lot of old horror game retrospectives. And I think she did a thing where she was like, oh, these are my favorite things this year or this month or whatever. And she mentioned BPM, and I was like, huh, that looks really cool. Especially the art style is extremely distinct. So it's kind of the first thing. It's very orangey and very high contrast. It's very strange. It's realism. But...
Each level is very color coordinated. There's kind of shaders going on to make everything look the same in each level.
Yeah, exactly. And it is so interesting. And I like it.
Does it have as much replayability and ongoingness? I'm guessing probably not, as you mentioned Binding of Isaac earlier.
Oh, I don't think it has as much as that.
It's not quite as ridiculous as that, because that just goes on forever.
Yeah, no.
Is it a similar sort of thing? You reckon it's, you can keep going for a while?
I mean, I've been playing it let me check, okay, because before I got my own computer, I've played it for 114 hours on this computer alone, and I'm still enjoying it. And, like, there's certain things where you get, because, again, it's not nice to you. So, you get very kind of like, oh, Daddy, could you hit me again? Thank you. Because, you figured out that you've got a callus, so, it hurts less or whatever. It's a very masochistic... I mean, I think roguelikes are very masochistic anyway, in a complimentary manner.
Well, yeah, because the point of them is to fail and
get
go
better.
Again.
Yeah.
So,
it's like, I have... There's, like, a character that if you get hit once, you die. There are some spells you can get. There's like the one, like I mentioned, where a character has it's like you bring up a shield for however many beats your ability stat is, to completely negate damage for that amount of time, no matter what hits you. If it negates it. And then there's another one where it's like a spell where it's like you put yourself in a bubble, and it just negates the first hit of damage you take, which I've never gotten with this character, and I managed to complete the game on easy with this character. Without those. And I don't know how. I just kept every new level, I was like, I'm not going to do this. This is just for fun. It's just for fun. And then I managed to do it. And, like, there's an achievement for completing the game with a handful of certain characters on hard. And that is the only one I haven't done yet, but I'm determined to get it done. I did, it's like a character called Rune, who's my favorite, who's like the random character who starts with randomized health and armor, randomized amount of keys and money, and randomized ability, and a randomized weapon. The weapons in this are also very fucking cool. I really like them. My favorite is the Haunted Revolver, because it is just awesome, and also extremely powerful and broken, and I love it. It's my baby.
I feel one thing you are kind of leaving out here is that you've got really, really good at this game.
Despite it.
Nice.
Like, I have the amount of times I'll saunter in and you're just like casually playing it and like, oh, you're just playing it on hard and you're just like, oh, I'm just barely looking at it, just eviscerating the
okay, I wouldn't say barely looking at it.
The one I remember one time, like, I came in and I was like speaking to you about something, and it took me a moment to realize that you turned the volume off of this rhythm game and was still playing it and getting like perfect room clears as I was just talking to you. I was like, wait, are you playing? You're playing this with the volume entirely off?
And I was like, yeah, because I didn't want to be rude and fucking like. And then you went quiet and went, could you turn it back on? This is fucking unsettling. And I was like, all right, it's fine. It's just the beat indicators on the crosshairs are helpful, and I know the songs really well, so just.
I know, but that's still like ridiculous. I just needed that to be.
You
known.
needed to fucking like rhythm shame me.
No, the opposite.
Rhythm. Yes. What?
I'm telling you that you're very good at a video game.
I'm so glad that my husband has confirmed I have rhythm. That sounded gross. Oh my god, that's not what I meant at all.
Yeah, that's.
maybe.
The guitarist in my band says I have rhythm. I'm a bassist. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
And that's basically what I've been what I've been kind of like feeling passionate about lately. So, DrummerMatt, what have you been doing?
I mean, it's a big question. It's been a while, and I feel like I should have more to say for myself than I do. No, there's two things I want to talk about. Firstly, I feel like I want to end the tale that I started. I don't know how long ago. I assume I finished Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh shit! Okay.
Relatively recently.
What?
Okay.
It took a while.
Is it that fucking Zelda?
The Breath of the Wild sequel. Yeah, I think
this is like the fucking.
It's been hanging over the podcast in the entire time it's been. Yeah, really.
This has been like the Winds of Winter or whatever the fuck the George R. R. Martin should be.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Of the podcasting
and
world.
I think it partially caused by like Breath of the Wild. I like got into and I was like excited to play it. Whereas this one was like when I was playing it, I was enjoying it, but I was like kind of forgot it existed for a week or two at a time. I don't know
there
why.
Are some games that just happens.
It's
I think sometimes your brain just does that.
Yeah, it's like basically the same game as Breath of the Wild in terms of how enjoyable it should be, but with tweaks and bits and bobs to make it better. So I don't quite know why I just didn't. Yeah, it didn't settle. But I finished it. But my main takeaway from it, and this is an annoying. I'm not gonna. I mean, people have played this game if they're gonna play it like years ago at this point. But my main takeaway from it is, I did get to sort of the ending, and I loved the ending. I've got to be honest. But I didn't get it at the time. I looked back and I was listening to an episode of. Have I ever recommended Strong Songs podcast on this?
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it. Yeah,
recommended. He did a review a episode on Zelda music, which I had in my played, because he was talking about Breath of the Wild for a while, and then talking about Tears of the Kingdom, and said, there's spoilers coming up, so I had to pause the episode for about 2 fucking years before I finished, or something like that, before I finished it. And he made a really nice point about how the music links to things, and pun intended or not intended. It links back to the hand claps and the way it made me really appreciate the ending. But my main thought when it finished was I kind of wanted to go and play. I didn't realise it was going to end when it did. I assumed that you could go back and explore the world after the ending.
Oh.
And you can't. So I got to the point where I was putting off bits, and there's loads of side missions and bits, but I kind of fell down going down the main quest line for a while. I was I'm enjoying this, that's fine, I'll keep going. I'll come back to all this other stuff that I want to do. And then the story finished, which is great, it finished nicely. But then it doesn't say you can just keep exploring. I wanted to build some big cool machines because you've got a power that can attach things together, and I don't know if you've seen videos, some of the things people have made are ridiculous. And I wanted to play with some of that.
Gary's mod creations look like nothing.
Yeah. But then I just finished the game without doing much of that, without realising that if I finished the game I couldn't then do it. And you can reload your save from before you finish, but it wasn't quite the same. So I was finally got around to complete this game, and then when I did complete it, I finished it sooner than I hoped I would do, if that makes any sense at all.
It
sounds a bit like...
I don't know how it took so many years, and then I was disappointed that it finished sooner, while also not enjoying it as much as I could have. I have very weird feelings on this game.
Yeah, it sounds like you did kind of consume the game in the most bizarre way possible.
Yeah, not as intended.
It sounds a bit like, there's some games where when they end, they don't really end, so you sort of just keep on playing them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild was like that, which is why I assumed this was.
I always think of Final Fantasy VII, the original version of it, where when you beat it, it doesn't go back to the menu screen. There's just a star field plays on the screen until you turn the console off. So it's very much this story is done.
It is done. You're turning it off now. What happens when you turn it back on? I can't remember. Does it?
It slaps you.
Oh, you can of course go back to
you just reload an earlier save. It's just
yeah. Okay. But there is no exploring after the game is done. But that's one of the more final ones I could think of offhand. But yeah, some games that I think there's some open worldy kind of things where you beat them and you're okay, I want to get back to the world and I'll carry on. And there are some games where there is a finality to them, so that even if you there's other stuff to do, you kind of go, well, I've done it now. And I don't really know how to quantify what game does that, because there's plenty of games where it's if you do the final boss, then it's game over, so you just go back to your previous save. There's loads of games where that happens, but I think some games you do take that point to leave, and other games you will go back, and I don't know. It's a purely vibes thing. I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think, and it just threw me that I was assuming that this was going to be one way and then it was the other. For whatever reason. I don't know why that was. But I just wanted to say that I have finally finished it, because I feel like, I don't know when I started it, but I've been playing it.
There's one guy who's been waiting for the last 2 years, just being oh, God damn it, when will I ever learn?
And you know what that guy's saying right now? Yeah, that was fucking worth it. Thanks, DrummerMatt. I'm so glad.
You've been edging him since October 2003.
I'm sorry, random Tears of the Kingdom fan, but you can come now.
Yeah, you are
allowed to.
Finally,
DrummerMatt has given you permission.
You are allowed to come.
Yes, come for me.
Tears of the King, come.
DrummerMatt, I want you to know that because all our audio, because we have slightly less terrible audio setup these days, we can very easily isolate you saying "come" for me.
That's why I said it.
Patreon exclusive.
Patreon.com/.
Come for your delicious ears. Do as you will.
No.
So, next up, I hypothetically have slightly more evening free time.
Yeah.
I feel like it's time. I need to get some Warhammer.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a guy. It's me. It's me. I have a cum man. Don't you have a cum man? I can send you my cum guy. What the fuck? Why is it okay? Do you remember that fucking podcast? My father-in-law still jokes about this. Sorry about all the cum, Dad. As a fucking old MisanthroPod title, I still get fucking shit for that.
Well, since there's a real good chance this episode's going to be called "Come for Your Delicious Ears," you know.
Yeah, why put the delicious in that part of the sentence, Matt? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're an ear fetish, you dirty.
Anyway, what kind of...
So, this is what I wanted to talk about. So, where I'm at, as you'll probably, because nothing's changed since whenever we last spoke about it, I have a tower army. I'm thinking 40k, because, like, realistically, that's...
If you want to play a game...
Easier to get a game off.
Something about, like, I grew up playing fantasy, so something about the new fantasy, whatever they've done with it, does appeal to me. Mm-hmm. But most of the models are just the models that I had and then subsequently somehow lost, or...
Yeah.
I don't know if my parents got rid of them or if I got rid of them, or like surprisingly enough, not that. But you know, over the years they've been given to people or like sold possibly. I can't even remember. I had an old metal steam tank. I feel like I wouldn't have thrown that. I wouldn't have thrown any of it. Anyway, I don't have any of my old Empire models anymore. And rebuying the same models for dramatically more expensive, even than 40k stuff, seemingly for the old sculpts, doesn't quite.
It absolutely takes the piss how expensive some of that stuff is for sculpts they already discontinued once.
Yeah, like fine, but I think 40k is the way to go. There's going to be the most people who play that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to decide. Cause the thing is, the completionist in me makes it really hard for me to want to move on to another army without finishing my Tau. But the way I painted my Tau was the way that I painted things basically as a kid. And it's a slog. I spray them black and then paint the Tau Sept ochre colour like over them, but it takes like, at least 2 or 3 layers to get half decent coverage. And it just takes ages.
Okay, before anyone in the comments is like, have you tried contrast? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to suggest it.
That's what that would be. That is I'm getting onto that because that looks like a brilliant solution, but not for my Tau because I can't just change.
Yeah, you can't
the
just
odd
change
few bits and bobs I've got left.
Yeah.
So basically, I was going to talk to you guys because I feel like you might be vaguely aware of 40k. Something tells me, and
vaguely aware. I've been known to push a model around. They're just too skinny. It's easy. No, that's so mean.
I do enjoy the modelling and the assembling the bits. Although I didn't do that enough with my Tau because I didn't get that many of them new, so I had to bodge them from what I had. So I'm quite looking forward to being able to do that. And I do enjoy the painting, but I want to pick an army and then after that a paint style that I can do things relatively quickly. So I think something like the contrast paints does sound like it'd be a good idea, but I have no idea where to start.
Okay,
Any suggestions?
Well, okay, so
depends. Okay, we'll school you through this.
Let's try a few little thought experiments here.
No,
so
don't call them
what
that.
What kind of army are you looking at wanting to do? Something shooty, something stabby, something.
Shot the shooty ones, shoot the choppy ones.
I mean, the Tau were very shooty. Mm-hmm. I think I did once kill one of your units in close combat, and it was brilliant. But maybe something a bit more choppy.
Okay. Well, you've got quite a lot of options. I mean, there's obviously 17 billion different Marine variants, but I kind of assume you don't want to play a Marine army.
No, I'm not so much. Nothing against Marines, but I don't know. It's not my favourite.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I was looking at Nids for a while because
they're very sharp dogs, and I love them. They're very beautiful, and they had a good few cool models come out as well.
Those also are very good for contrast.
That's kind of what I was doing a bit of digging around. It did look like you can just like spray them one colour and then do like a few bits of contrast, and that's basically done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like if you want to, because I've got a bunch of Nids, so if you want to like try a game with them and see how they feel, you're welcome to try.
Okay. But then like, yeah, because like, yeah, I have no idea. You say you spray them presumably. Base coat them?
Yeah, the way contrast works is that you spray them with a light coloured thing, usually white or off-white. I'd recommend the off-white one because white, like pure white primers have a real propensity for going a bit like weird in different temperatures, I've noticed.
Okay. They like going gritty.
You might have more luck with them. Some people have more luck with them. I've just never liked them for that reason. But you spray them on a very light primer and then you just paint it on. It's basically, what they actually are is very similar to the old ink washers.
See, you say this. I've never used an ink wash before.
Okay, but they're
my painting style originates before they had washers, I'm pretty sure. Or at least before they were commonly used.
They were called inks originally.
Yeah. Well, the modern contrast paints, you basically just slap them on like they're a wash and they just sink into the recesses, and that's kind of it. You can use the medium, which I forget what its proper name, that you can use to water it down a little bit because you can't mix contrast with water.
It just fucks it up.
It will go weird.
Okay, right.
So you have to be careful not to have like water on your brush before using it. But it will just settle into the recesses. I think it's less idiot proof than advertised, but it is still pretty good. And to be fair, there are other options as well. There are other companies that do speed paints as well. I think it's Army Painter even do metallic speed paints now.
And they're the similar sort of thing.
Yeah, it's the same basic thing. You can do some degree of underpainting if you want, so you can do like zenith or highlighting underneath, things like that, or dry brush underneath, like to have, say, prime them in grey and then do layers of dry brushing to bring up white, of lighter colours to bring up to a white. So
before
when you put
the contrast
on,
okay.
Yeah, and then put the contrast on over that. You can put contrast over metallics as well. Well, you can put it. You can put it over like silver, and you can get coloured metallics. Though, admittedly, getting coloured metallics is fairly simple now. There's plenty of companies.
There's a lot of what is it? Turbo Dork.
They
do some really gorgeous metallics.
I'm not being sponsored by Army Painter, but I have been using.
Yeah, none of this is sponsored. If you want to sponsor us, please give us money and some of your products. We would love that. Get in touch.
But Army Painter's metallics are from their Wargames Fanatic range. Been really good, and like they've got kind of. Because the only problem with the Turbo Dork ones is there's a little bit of preparation for using them, whereas the Army Painter ones just go straight over completely, no worries. But yeah, there's it functionally. You just treat it like just slapping a wash over something, but it's just a really highly pigmented wash. So a load of it will settle into the recesses to create really dark things, and it will settle very thinly on the raised highlights, creating sort of pseudo edge highlighting. So when it works well, it looks like you've done 4 or 5 different layers of paint in one go. Now, when it doesn't go well, it can be very blotchy. It's why I didn't understand when GW did a lot of stuff with them. When they were first launching it, they used Marines to demonstrate it a lot, and Marines are like literally the worst things to use it on.
Good.
Because they've got so many big flat panels
bits.
where the cuffs can kind of pull on. Which is not to say you can't make it work over that. You know, you're careful with it, you can make it work. But it was it didn't show it off at its best, whereas I think a lot of fantasy models actually really show it off well, and stuff like Nids show it off really well because they're full of like bumpy areas
and like tiny little recesses and details and things like that.
So I think that NIDS might not be if you want something a bit stabbier and you're looking for something to do with contrast, then NIDS might not be a bad thing. And they also recently got a bunch of new models,
which look pretty fucking cool.
So,
didn't they redo the Biovore?
I can't remember if they redid the Biovore. I think so.
Yeah, I think they did a new Biovore
because they redid a bunch of them,
and then they popped that in Space Marine 2, which was cool.
Yeah, they redid a bunch of stuff and added a bunch of stuff. So yeah,
we will fully enable you should you give us any chance. Is what we're saying.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm aware. That's why I'm here, to be enabled.
Hell yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah, no,
I might have to get like a test unit or something just to have a bit of a mess around with. Because that's the other thing. Like, I think last time I just went, I want to paint my Tau, and I want to paint them how they look in like classic Tau look.
Yeah,
and that's it. And just go with it. And I didn't really think long term about how that would grind me down, to be honest.
Yeah. You have to have a particular mania to paint that kind of shade over a full army. I say,
as a Lamentas
got 3,000 points of Lamentas.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do some digging. I might get a test, dig out, see if any of my existing paints or paintbrushes or anything exist still, and are in what state after living in an attic.
It
long?
depends how old they are. Anything that's in a GW pot from the last 10 years, definitely dead.
Okay, good.
I hate those fucking pots.
Because to be perfectly honest, I have had ones. It's with the current Games Workshop pots. It's not 100% that you get something home from the shop and it's right.
Okay.
God, I wish that was a joke. I have literally seen on shelves the paint just being wrong.
Yeah, but you look after it and you'll be.
You'll probably be fine.
For things like. It's a little better with things like washers and contrast, to be fair. It's things like your bases and your dry brushing ones and that kind of stuff, yeah. But yeah, I would look forward to see what kind of Tyranid army you make, because there's a lot of options these days. And,
there's a lot of real fun
40K
options.
40K is very open with how you build forces, because it's basically you have an army commander and then fucking whatever.
Unless it's like a really fun build, like a bunch of dreadnoughts, in which case go fucking die. Everyone hates you, apparently. Not bitter.
Well,
not
I
think
because it's like you can only have 3 of one thing unless it's a battle line.
Yeah, I didn't want to have fun. That's
although
fine.
Admittedly,
with the army I spent hundreds
of
pounds on, that I don't care.
Yeah, but to be fair,
no.
I think some of your dreadnoughts are technically a different stat
yeah,
line. So
okay, Mr. fucking shill for James Workshop, I see you.
No, it's like you've got Venerable Dreads and you've got
Murderfang,
Wolfen Dreads and Murderfang, and Bjorn is still in the new codex, thank God. But yeah, what was going to be? Is it out yet? Yeah, it's not out yet. I don't think.
I
Maybe.
don't know.
I don't fucking know. I don't keep. I've been fucking talking. I've been like writing a script and putting it out and like getting everything done for fucking Combat 3000 from 1979. Do you think I know what's going on in modern Warhammer?
Well, that was going to be my very quick final question: is that where were we at edition wise? Because I'm also
10th.
kind of out of the loop with that. Are we still 10th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I have played one game of 10th. It was fine.
I have played 2 games of 10th.
What was it?
I'm absolutely honest.
Was it all right?
It was fine.
Yeah.
There are things that very much annoy me about 10th, but what I will say is that a lot of the things that annoy me about 10th are to do with bringing an army in from previous editions. If you're building an army for 10th, a lot of the annoyances disappear. So.
Okay, good to know. I'll do some digging and have a look and update you next fortnight. Do people say next time?
Good.
But yeah, that is what I would have liked to talk about.
Okay.
So I would have.
Okay.
I didn't phrase that very well. Next.
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'll do some speaking.
Yeah,
from
dribble
my
it
mouth.
just a little bit. What you been up to?
Okay, so a few bits and pieces. My mental health was in the goddamn toilet, so I'm currently getting a therapy of getting a cognitive behavior therapy.
Not cock and ball torture, which was upsetting to me, but I learned something new that day.
Or the thing you do on your motorbike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that I'm getting CBT on the NHS, and that's, how someone interprets that sentence says a lot about that individual.
Anyway, I am proud of you. Good on you for getting CBT.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going okay. There's a lot it was very funny because I recently made a video all on my lonesome about the Lamenters and their battle cry and how everyone is wrong and I'm right.
Well,
and there's more to it than that, but that's basically
that's the gist of it.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. And that stressed me out so much that I had to have I basically had a whole therapy session talking about a fucking YouTube video, and you don't know humiliation until you have had to explain why you were stressed, and it's that fucking video.
I literally had to explain to my therapist the other day that I was so anxious about body wash, and she didn't laugh at me once because she's good at her job. So don't worry about it. You're fine.
Yeah, no, it was fine. I am joking. I am joking. I had legitimate reasons to be legitimate. It's anxiety, so it was irrational. But there was a reason for my irrational spiraling. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's going well. I'm currently trying to be better with my whole work-life balance thing. So the day of my therapy, I had to I literally didn't check my fucking YouTube analytics once for the rest of the day sort of thing, and I'm trying to be better at not letting that stuff kind of take over my life quite so much.
It's really hard to kind of find that balance, especially if you work from home, and if you don't put out a video that month, you can't pay fucking rent, so...
Yeah, it's also gamified in the stuff you get, so it incentivizes you to have an unhealthy relationship with it. So, I'm trying to be better with that, and hopefully that will you will probably notice when I'm feeling better, because you'll notice there are more videos happening. But yeah, so that's happening. Speaking of Warhammer, I am currently ticking off something that I have been putting off for 27 years, which is the 3rd edition box set came with some plastic trees, little palm trees. I am finally basing them and painting them, so I'll actually be able to use them.
You're making them look amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'm just doing basic dry brushing on them because I don't want them to take forever. But yeah, it's kind of nice. I'm starting to see them come together, and I'm like, oh no, that's nice, because I did the ruins from that box years ago, and you'll see them in videos all the time. But I was like, I want to do the other terrain as well, because I found the bag that had them all in, and I was like, oh yeah, I should do this. So that should tell you how well stored they were and what condition they were in when I found them, because they were stored in a bag.
Bag of
not generally a way to store Warhammer anything,
bag of
really.
trees.
But yeah, so enjoying that. What else? Andor Series 2, really fucking good.
No spoilers, haven't
just
seen
like
it.
Andor Series 1. A lot. It's a lot. Very prescient in our current time. But it stuck the landing. Which, for a series that had such a strong opening season, to be able to land it is rare. To be able to follow up with the second season, that is on the same kind of level. I don't know which season I prefer yet, because I've not rewatched the first one sort of with that in mind. But yeah. Another quick little one, just because I wanted to mention it. I played a game called Easy Delivery Co., or more accurately, I played the demo of it because it's not out yet. And I played it on stream, and I think people would probably like it because it's basically what if you were an Animal Crossing animal, but you were making van deliveries in Silent Hill.
Oh, I watched. Yeah,
didn't go the way I was expecting that sentence to go.
That's why it's so beautiful.
Yeah. And it's basically Euro Truck Simulator, but you're in a little K-truck. Those tiny little Japanese.
And
little trucks.
you've killed a baby.
And you deliver things from one place to another, but it's like foggy and snowing, and you'll pass out if you're outside for too long. You find radio towers, and it has. When you get the radio towers and you get inside them and you activate the thing, you get like the frequency for them, and that gives you a new track on your radio, which I think is a neat way of actually making radio towers be a actual radio tower, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, there's a spooky like vibe to everything, like how the other animals that you pick up items from, some of them have really fucking weird faces. Like one of them just doesn't have a face at all. Like there's a subtle, unnerving sort of vibe about the whole thing, but it's basically just Euro Truck Simulator, but with a more arcadey control system. I thought it was really cool, and I can't wait for the full game to come out, which I think comes out later this year sometime.
Nice.
But yeah, Easy Delivery Co. It's made by a dev called Sam C.
The artwork for it's nice.
Sorry?
The artwork is very cute.
Yes. But yeah, and the last thing I will mention, which is my big topic.
Oh. Mention it,
which
darling.
is a game that I 100%ed recently, because I was out of nowhere bought it by our friend Hobbytown, and it's called Pesticide Not Required.
Oh, it's like Vampire Survivors, but with frogs.
Yes.
Complimentary.
So in the wake of Vampire Survivors being the best game ever, I've played
it's so fucking simple.
Survivors.
It does not. I don't understand how it is so fucking good. When we first started playing it, because like Bob Vids was talking about it, and I was like, "Fuck, I'll pick it up." It's like a quid, and then I literally that's all I could think about for a fucking month. It ruled my life, and I don't regret a minute of it. Jesus Christ!
And every now and again they'll bring out a DLC that costs like £1.50, and there's like 10 hours worth of content in it. It's
amazing.
It's wild. But anyway, so in the wake of that, there's been a bunch of games that have tried to take on the same general idea of, your attacks pop off automatically, and it's about getting different types of weapons and synergies to take out increasingly absurd waves and waves of enemies. Sort of taking this kind of RPG system and then mapping it onto a bullet hell. So it's there's a few things that try to do a few different ones, and they mix. Quite often they'll mix it up with another genre. And the one that this one is mixed up with is a farming simulator. So basically,
Stardew Valley Vampire Survivors with frogs.
Yeah, it came out in 2024, so it's like a year old. By a dev, Jump Packed Games. He made it. And so you start off and you're just a little frog, and
relatable.
The enemies come at you. You've got a weapon, and it would automatically pop off at every X amount of seconds. But there's so you have both money and experience, and the money you can get by harvesting ore that's around, and experience you get either by fishing or by planting crops, watering them, waiting for them to mature, and then when they're matured, you can harvest them. And then when a day ends, you go to the shop and you buy more seeds and you buy new weapons, which you plant as seeds, and then you harvest those seeds to give you the weapons, and that's how you upgrade your weapons. It's very strange, and you are a frog. This needs to be noted. You are a farming frog. I was like, okay, this is it's not got the depth of Vampire Survivors. It's fairly simple. It's got nowhere near the sheer amount of characters or weapons or levels, because there are 3 levels. Oh, sorry, there's 4 levels, but they are all the same level, as in they are the same farm, but in the 4 different seasons. And the difference is mostly just the types of enemies, basically. You'll get attacked by mini bosses from time to time that are, quite powerful and can easily kill you very quickly if you don't dodge around them, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. When you defeat them, you get a pet as well, which is interesting, and they each do a different thing. Like, some of them will water your crops for you, one of them will attack enemies, one will, harvest crops for you, They do little things like that, and whenever you level up, because your weapons level up, you level up, and you've got money. So there's 3 different kind of things you have to manage. And when you level up, you get just a generic. You get these generic upgrades, but most of them have a downside as well. So you can heavily prioritize something, but if you do that, you're going to take hits elsewhere. So there'll be for the sake of argument, there'll be one that's this makes your fishing really good, but it makes you farm slower. It makes your crops grow slower. So you're trying to balance that as well whilst you're playing Vampire Survivors. It's very, very interesting.
I love the idea of playing Vampire Survivors and being death gets here in T-5 minutes and my fishing sucks, dude. What the fuck am I going to do?
It actually kind of works the opposite way. When you get to the end of the level, you grow giant, and for reasons I don't understand, it says Wumbo on the screen.
Wumbo?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
You are just a giant frog, and you squish everything.
You are just a giant frog, and you must Wumbo.
Yes.
Okay.
You Wumbo. You say Wumbo, and then you Wumbo all over those guys.
Oh, that was my favourite part when Wumbo did that.
It's Wumbing time, I guess.
Yeah, don't say that again. Jesus, I'll kick you. I'll kick you to death. Don't do it.
Now, each level, though there's only 4 levels and they're all basically the same level, each one of those has several difficulty tiers. I think there's 4 or 5. I forget exactly which offhand.
Wumbo, Bumbo, Columbo. That's the hardest mode. You just have to interrogate them.
But I found, it gets increasingly harder, and though you can increase your abilities to a degree, it doesn't have the golden egg system that Vampire Survivors has. So you can't level up a character. It's just you can level up a set amount. It's like the main stats you can increase in Vampire Survivors, but individual characters don't get increased. So you kind of hit a bit of a ceiling as to how much better you can make your character, but I found the secret strats of how to beat pesticide not required on any level with one simple trick.
Is it to do? Can I guess? Is it to do with the Wumbo?
No.
Then I don't fucking care.
Because all frogs have the potential to become Wumbo, and they indeed all will Wumbo in time.
Frog scientists, please respond. We want to know the scientific meaning and reasoning of Wumbo. That would be cool if you could do that.
There is a character, because when you do certain things, you unlock characters. One of them is called Potato.
Okay.
Good.
And it's a rain frog. You know those tiny little round fuckers?
Do you mean a tomato frog?
No, I mean a rain frog.
Okay, because tomato frogs, they look like pool balls. They look like billiard balls. They're fucking crazy.
A tomato frog might be a kind of rain frog?
You know what? I gotta fucking Google this shit. You know what? I'm sick of not knowing.
Round.
Okay, desert rain.
They look very grumpy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. They look so grumpy. They're amazing.
Okay, tomato frogs are not as round as I was thinking. I'm sorry. I apologise to the frog community.
I can't believe you misled me on frog
What
lore.
are frog scientists called?
What?
Important information.
Okay, okay, how to pronounce... shut up, it's fine. Okay, give me a sec.
Okay.
Okay, apologies to batrachologists. That was worth
it. Good. Just a little glimpse into what's going on in there, Snope.
In my brain? Yes. Mm-hmm. Things happen in there all the time.
Anyway, if you want to beat it, you play as Potato. Now, Potato's shtick as a character is that their damage is reduced by it's down by 9,999%.
That's a whole lot of fucking percent.
It will round it up to 1, so it can do 1 damage per attack, which is just not enough to kill things at all. You will have enemies that you will not kill a single basic enemy by the end of the day, and they'll disappear at the end of the day briefly to let you go to the shop and things.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
At least they're being thoughtful.
They have Potato has a higher attack frequency and heavier knockback. But the trick with him is that because you normally get coins upon enemy death, but because it's basically impossible to kill anyone with this guy. The only enemies that stick around from level to level are the mini bosses, and so you will get the first mini boss on day 3 or whatever, and it will still be there on the final day of day 15.
I love the idea that deck collectors show up on January the 7th, and then they just don't. You can't get rid of them, and then they just die of old age around
Unless
September.
Unless you defeat them, they won't leave.
Unless you eat them.
Sometimes,
just like real life.
Sometimes you will just not be able to do anything. Sometimes you get certain upgrades. You get certain upgrades and pets that can do damage to them, and so you can you take them down eventually. You will usually do it, but I have had runs where I think you'll kill one, and it's the one who was there at the very start, and you'll eventually kill him by the end of the run. But the trick with him is that because he doesn't kill things. That's not how it works. To get money, it just gets 2 coins on hit. Which means that if you can get used to using him, so not killing anything but just surviving, you gain quite a lot of money. And once you start getting something that has a big AoE sort of around you, any kind of big damaging thing, there's a sprinkler, because they're all farming themed obviously, or a strimmer. You get either one of those, and you're hitting so many things around you that you are getting more money than you can ever spend. But that means that you can buy all the really expensive crops, and the really expensive crops give you the best upgrades, they give you the most XP, so you can get as many upgrades as possible. So you are able to then survive throughout the whole run of even the hardest one, not killing a damn thing, but rich as fuck as the tiny, derpy little potato. And it is wonderful.
There's an analogy there that I'm sure a smarter individual than I could make.
That is my deep strats for pesticide not required if anyone was to play it. It is quite a fun little game, but yeah, it's let me see how long, bearing in mind I've played Vampire Survivors for 300 hours or something. Let me see how long I've played this for. I've played it for 24 hours apparently.
Nice.
And I've 100%ed the game. I've got every Steam achievement.
Even a few that didn't even exist. You made them up and gave them to yourself. And you earned them.
Which, yeah, compared to the 382 I've played Vampire Survivors, should tell you, how different the thing is in how much there is to do in it. But I did find it fun. If you do enjoy Vampire Survivors and you want something that's, got a bit of does a similar thing but does it in a different way,
also
that might scratch the itch for you for a bit. It's also fairly cheap.
Also, the art is really cute, so that's all I have to contribute. Is I saw Wib playing it and I was like, "Aw," and that was it. So yeah, no, gets my seal of approval.
Yes. It's actually currently, and will be by the time you hear it, still on sale for £3.85.
Would you say that's completely worth it?
I would say it's 100% worth it.
Spot on.
Yes.
Worth it for the wombo.
Yes.
Oh.
Worth it for the wombo. Do it for the wombo.
One wombo, you dirty sluts. Let's go. No worries off, not.
Are you trying to get wombo at the gym? Is that...
My brain just blue screened. What the fuck were you trying to say? That's like
getting big, right?
That's like you're trying to get domed at the festival. I'm what?
I thought the whole wombo thing was getting big.
Big what? Oh, muscles, yeah.
Yeah, that's the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing
Yeah,
you said.
I'm getting pumped at the gym every time I go, my man.
One pump, one cream.
Wrong podcast, honey.
Anyway.
I want to talk about pumping at the gym some more. That sounds amazing. What room does that take place
I do want to make a quick... I do want to make a quick note. I've been playing Space Marine 2, and the Blood Angels pack is coming out soon, which will have Lamenters in it. So I will finally be able to play
Good game.
as a Lamenter with the proper shoulder pads iconography. Because I could previously only make a Lamenter if I made them an ex-member of the Death Watch and pretended that the checkered pad wouldn't be anywhere.
I love my favorite part of Space Marine 2 so far, because I love co-op. It's so fucking great. Is because I have a pre-Heresy World Eater color scheme because it looks best covered in blood. Ironically, completely obviously, I suppose is the term. And
yes, the exact opposite of ironic. I would say.
Unronic. There we go. Don't at me. And people will come in and go, Snipers, your colour scheme, pre-Heresy World Eaters. And I just want to go, no! They're fucking white scars. Fucking, what are you going to do?
It's just got the blue pads and the white main colour scheme, and the World Eaters symbol on the shoulder pad.
On the fucking shoulder pad and the brass and everything. I have seen some really cool...
The funny thing is, you play a pre-Heresy World Eater, yet the character you play, or the class you play as mostly is Sniper.
Yeah, it's because Assault still sucks. Fix it, please. They're trying. It's a hard class to balance, so I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, Assault and Sniper are my favourites, so... But I still get caked in Viscera. It's very thematic. It's very fun.
It's just how you want it to be.
That's how I'm trying to be. Me visualising the man I'm trying to be.
But yes, so
see,
are we actually?
This is
kind of done.
Yeah, this
at a reasonable.
This
time
is
frame?
typically where we'd be doing questions, but because we haven't done anything for like a billion years, we don't have any questions. But if somebody were to send in a question about anything and everything, sans like genuine, real world, like I'm in a terrible situation, please give me advice, kind of questions, where could they send them to, DrummerMatt?
I would have thought you'd ask me. TheDrummerMatt. TheDrummerMatt at... Is it The Drummer or The Drummer? This is an important distinction.
It's just, what the...
I mean, I think that's really on you. That's how do you feel? Do you feel like the drummer or a the drummer?
I'm a the. TheDrummerMatt at gmail.com. Yes. How
is the gmail.com the part you fucked up? It's been literally 1 year.
I really like how we come back and we're like, oh yeah, we're going to do it again, and somehow we are less prepared than we used to be when we were all getting really burnt out on it and we weren't doing preparation properly. Somehow we are even less prepared. I think that's beautiful.
It's because of anxiety.
Bringing the I think it's bringing the authentic MisanthroPod experience back.
Exactly.
The thing what people love about this thing, about the literally dozen of people who love this podcast, love about it.
The
literal half dozen people who love this podcast, what they love about it is how raw we are. They love it. They love us being raw. And if the podcaster doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, then you're on the same level as the listener and they feel seen, I have been led to believe.
Yeah.
That's why for the upcoming podcasts, we're not editing them even slightly. So every time someone needs to go for a piss,
we're taking the microphones with us.
Actually, yeah, taking the mic with us.
Pissing on the condenser,
raw and live. Maybe not on the microphone.
Raw piss.
That'll blow it out too much.
Raw piss from my microphone to your hungry ears. That's what we're fucking going for. And you know what?
No, I don't know. This is too far.
I don't think it is. I think maybe we need to start pushing boundaries because honestly, podcasting is an art form and I'm so sick of everyone playing it fucking safe. No, we are raw pissing. We are raw dog pissing. Our podcast out.
Will Snipe be the Joe Rogan of the world? telling it like it is.
Yeah, man.
And believing everything the last person that spoke.
I'll literally, like, I'm gonna, like, fully agree with Nazi rhetoric and the most stupid shit you've ever heard. Like, a guy came on my podcast and said, "Hey, man, do you know Antarctica was actually invented by a bird? Just one random bird.
Oh, shit, wow,
and
really
it carried
interesting.
it down
Up,
from
like,
Jupiter moon because, like, the Jupiter and the moon are the same thing. They just don't want you to know because of reasons, and this is somehow Jewish people's fault. And then I'm only going to get mad about things if people go, weed isn't, like, the be-all and end-all, and then I'm going to start scream, cry, and shitting at them because weed is my personality, and so is, like, you know, allowing, like, idiots to feel smart and being an idiot who thinks they're smart. Basically, if you listen to Joe Rogan, don't. He's a fuckwit.
Yeah, please don't. Okay. This
the last person who told me they listened to Joe Rogan, I was literally wearing fucking like medical grade PVE gloves and holding his fucking scalp together. And he was
sorry.
What?
Sorry, you. I think you said PVE.
I said PV instead of PPE. Yeah, because I wanted to fight this cunt.
Because it was you versus everyone.
Yeah, I was just like, okay,
you were,
Joe
actually,
Rogan mentioned time to fucking stab someone.
Yeah, you had to wipe a head wound of this guy
I had
down
to clean
because
it
it started
and-
a fight, which kind of tells you everything about the people.
Well,
that
he was
Rogan.
raving on
Anyway.
about Joe Rogan and also saying how he actually thinks that anti-vax is true. And I was like, I could just peel all of your fucking scalp off. It would be really easy. But I didn't do that as someone who wanted to provide medical care.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about Joe Rogan
No,
anymore.
fuck Joe Rogan, he sucks.
Frankly. But we just got an email, and I just want to share this as a way to say goodbye, because I think it's very, very fun. San Pellegrino. What is San
That's a
Pellegrino?
drink.
The drink, the very sour lemon.
You know that nice Italian lemon drink I like that's always very expensive in Sainsbury's? Yeah,
Makes you go...
That it makes your butthole do that, apparently, yeah.
Yeah. We have got an email from someone who claims to be representing them.
Good.
But since they have one of those email addresses that is basically a key smash for the domain, I'm like,
you're gonna be so upset when that's just somebody's whole ass fucking name. It's like, hi.
And I just want to tell you this entire email because it's very short but somewhat unnerving. Hello, we at San Pellegrino are excited about a potential collaboration. We believe in creative synergy. Let us know your thoughts.
That's a letter that the DM reads to the fucking party before they go die. That is terrifying. Let us know. Thoughts on what? I got thoughts.
Yeah, your thoughts on what? Like okay. I'm a little... I'm just a little bit put on edge by that. It unnerves me slightly that Lemonade wants to
Big Lemonade
We're just talking about piss. So.
Yeah, raw piss.
Yeah.
That's what that lemonade is. We love raw piss here.
Is that where you want to leave it? Talking about raw piss and how much you love it.
Yeah, because
Is that where we're leaving it?
I'm upset that I brought it back to that. So.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for that.
Too much bodily fluids have ended up in people's ears today.
We tend to.
We've
It's like
forgotten how to finish.
it's like consuming.
everyone
You haven't. That's been the problem.
It's like consuming alcohol or like any kind of narcotics or cleaning products. You want to stick to one, otherwise you are going to have a bad fucking time. So either stick with piss or cum. Never the twain shall meet, quite frankly. It's just irresponsible.
You have to properly clean the area before if you go from one to the other.
Yeah. Allegedly. Anyway, we're also trying to do a thing where we don't run over time. So this is a great time to just fucking end it all. We are going to die. Thank you for listening to the very last episode of the MisanthroPod, because we will all be dead.
Until 2 weeks.
Until 2 weeks, and then we'll probably come back
Probably.
and be like, hey, yeah, so I went to the gym and, like, jerked off a fucking cat. Or I don't know, fucking... not like an actual cat, that would be weird, but probably like a cast member from the Cats musical. I think that, actually, would that be weirder? That'd be weirder, wouldn't it?
The pills are wearing off, aren't they?
Can you tell?
10 minutes ago, I was hopeful that this would finish on time. And yet, here we are.
Just like me.
Anyway, goodbye, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you. See you in 2 weeks. Goodbye, everybody. It's good to be back.
Bye.
Bye.